Forgot to plug my laptop in. That could have been disastrous right there. All of a sudden, in the middle of the stream, the battery dies. That'd be bad. That'd be really bad. All right. Hi, I'm Paul Nurkala, also known as Boba Fett FPV. I have a passion for multi-rotor piloting, as well as kind of telling the story of the behind the scenes of being a multi-rotor pilot. And a big part of that is building, and so whenever I'm working on a quad, which kind of at this point happens to be Thursday nights, we're building something. I don't know what it's going to be. Tonight it's going to be a 450 hexacopter. This is the flight test rotor bones or any copter or whatever frame that I've had lying around since last Christmas. My in-laws bought it for me, and I got these $3 T motors from 3D Robotics. So I wanted to slap them on a quad and give it a shot and see how it goes. Interesting. Anyway, so that's what we're working on tonight. So if you're a first-time visitor, glad to have you here. If you are a returning visitor, I'm excited that you're back. And if you're a vendor, let me know. I'd love to build a copter for you. So if that's something that you're at all interested in, let me know. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to spam something real quick. Got one person watching so far. It's a good turnout so far. Sorry, just waiting on some loading stuff. Sorry, bear with me. All right, I guess I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So we're working on a 450 hexacopter. I'm probably going to leave, just do the motors and ESCs tonight because I don't have a ton of time tonight. But so hopefully we can get all the ESCs wired up to these motors, and then in a later episode or in some videos later, I'll be posting some follow-ups on what's going on. I have, these are 3D Robotics 950 kV motors. Let's see if you can see one of those. They seem like they're the real deal. I got them for $3 a piece. They're normally like $35 motors, so I'm pretty excited about them. They feel solid. No grinding. I'm kind of disappointed in the frame actually. The wood, so it uses wooden beams, which is kind of cool. It's cheap. It's easy to replace. But some of them are warped. Like this one, for example, is kind of twisted. So I'm going to replace this arm before I actually try to fly it or anything. But for tonight, it doesn't matter. And I think what I'm going to do for the wood is actually I'm just going to finish it. And put some kind of coating on it, and or using a wood stain. So that should be pretty fun. Then. For speed controllers, I have Little Bees. According to everything that I could find about these motors, they should not draw more than 20 amps at all. So the burst current on these Little Bees should be in the 60 amp range. Oh shoot, I just spilled a whole thing of standoffs into my drawer. No, I'm not going to paint that wood orange. I was actually thinking about painting it like a bright green, but I decided against it. But yeah, so I think these will do fine with these motors. I'm probably going to leave damping light off so that the speed controllers don't try to actively brake the really heavy spinning motors. So maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to mount all of these in the same place here, cut off all this heat shrink, and I'm gonna direct solder the whole thing. Except I'll probably leave these guys, the pin headers. I'm gonna leave them on for now because I need to flash all these ESCs still. I just didn't have enough time to get to it. But yeah. So I'm just gonna put this there, I guess. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just removing heat shrink. And now I'm taking off all of the extra wires that I don't need from the speed controllers. Now I'm going to tin these pads up again, just using a little bit of my own solder. Ugh, this is not working. I figure this is actually going to be a pretty painful build since this whole quad is just in the way, basically. But yeah, so just mounting it there is not going to be a problem at all. Should be able to reach those pads, and then these wires are long enough to run through. This way is up. It's hard to see the motors, I guess, and then it'll be able to reach the flight controller up there just fine. So I'm going to cut these motor wires. I want to make sure that I leave enough room to be able to get the wires down, because the top plate is going to go on flush, so I need about that much room there. And so we're going to cut these wires right about. Actually, let's wrap them first. Brian H. asks if this is mine or a build for someone else. This is actually mine. I had a lot of these parts lying around, and I got the motors for super cheap, and my in-laws had bought me the frame. So I actually own this one. I want this to be an aerial photography and just a rig to kind of mess around. Like, honestly, like, it would be cool to fly a gate up into the air and fly through it, or use it as like a rescue quad to go pick up, the mini quad that crashed or something like that. I don't know. Whatever I can think of is what I'll do with it, and it's going to be a blast no matter what. So now I'm tinning the motor wires. Yep, nope, this one's all mine. I've kind of been excited about. This was what I originally had gotten into multi-rotors to do, was kind of do like mission planning and maybe learning how to do a little bit of programming on it. I ended up doing mini quads first, and so I've kind of always wanted to do this. So I'm really excited to be working on it finally. But yeah, it'll probably be more like dinking around, get some B-roll for YouTube videos, and use it as kind of a play thing. How can we do something cool with this, like, you know, fly through a mid-air gate or something like that. So it should be fun. So all that to say, it's going to supplement the YouTube channel. Yep, I'm gonna add. Let's see. Brian H asks, gonna add GPS and such too. Yep, exactly. I'm gonna put all of the bells and whistles on this, but I'm gonna do it slowly over time, so that it doesn't break the budget too bad, but it also at the same time is just it's just a fun project to just tinker with once in a while, instead of having to stress about multi-rotor or like mini quads and crashing them all the time. Maybe this one will fly somewhat consistently and not break all the time. I guess if I'm dinking around with it though and flying quads through it, it might be in danger of such things. But you know what? We can hope for the best. Let's see. I've got zip ties around here somewhere. You guys see zip ties? Well, never mind. I have a big, like, jar of them, so I don't know where that is right now. That's okay. I'm just going to tape it down for the moment. That's obviously not a final mounting for this, but it'll work for now. All right. Positive is going to run into here, so it's got to go around where the top plate would be, and down onto this pad. So I'm going to cut it right about there. How long did you make the arms? I actually don't know how long they are. I didn't ever measure them, but they're the default length of whatever flight test sells. So if you go look at their site, I'm sure it'll say how long they are. I think it's like 230 mil or something like that, millimeters. Brian H asks, I hate to jinx anything, but any updates on the XBR? Thanks for thinking of not jinxing anything. I think this stream is beyond help when it comes to that, because every time I manage to break something. The XBR, I am currently still waiting on another KISS 30 amp, because one was just dead on arrival. Unfortunately. All right. So positive wire done. It's nice and clean and out of the way. Dynamic array. That was a new comment. I promise. Allenberger says, "I like your beard." Thank you. I like my beard too. I'm glad my wife likes my beard, because that's usually the battle that you have to fight. Is the beard okay? And my wife likes it on me, so I'm gonna keep going with it until she says otherwise. Very beardy, yes. I'm probably just looking at my hand here. Sorry. What are you guys working on? Is anybody else building right now? Delbert is worried about having missed out. You haven't missed anything yet, really. We've just been working away on this 450 hexacopter. So yeah, positive to positive, negative to negative. Didn't change that on the ESC, and all the way through to the motor. So yeah, that's looking pretty good for the first one. I asked what everybody was working on. Hythe PV says he's working on an Atom, which was awesome. I'm excited to fly that. Mike Posh says he's tuning a picnic quad, first micro other than the Nano QX. Mike, what do you have running in it? Brian H says he's cutting foam feet for his ZMRs for standing blocks. Delbert says he's working on a Vortex 285 that just dropped out of the sky. Ugh, that sounds fun. And Allenberger says new to quads, just built a ZMR, crashed and built again. I'm a fixed wing guy myself. I have a fixed wing. I would not call myself a fixed wing guy. It's a whole other animal. I couldn't believe how hard it was to learn how to fly a plane. And I started with an easy one, like it was an AXN floater jet from Hobby King, and I even had I did buddy boxing and all that stuff just to make sure that I didn't have an unsuccessful maiden. Mike says he's building his micro quad with 8.5 millimeter motors and the 6C FC. Yeah, those I've seen, or my friend Patrick flies one of those. Or those flight controllers, and they seem to do pretty well. So nice. I think they take beta flight even too, don't they? I'm just going to tape this down before we move anywhere. Let's cut some heat shrink first before we forget. So yeah, this isn't the most exciting build in the world, but you know, at least we get a chance to talk. There won't be a maiden tonight, unfortunately. Alright, we gotta braid this. Ah, shoot. Is the stream coming through okay for you guys? I'm just stripping some wire here, sorry. RC Flight asks if the Sparky 32 running Ronin. Yes, this is going to be a Sparky 32 flight controller, and it's going to be running D Ronin, which is the Tau Labs the fork that has a bunch of new features and stuff. They just uploaded a new, they released the official first release, and so I'm going to get this up and running and flying it based on the suggestion of my good friend D Sal, who is a D Ronin dev. Morris W says it's midday here in Australia for the win. Welcome from across the world. That's really cool. What do you fly out there? I'm going to turn this fan on a little higher. Will you be using 5-inch or 6-inch propellers? I will be using 10-inch propellers. They're monsters. I cannot believe how large they are. So I'm just so used to the tiny little mini quad props. This is a 10-inch prop. And this is a 5-inch prop. Cracks me up. Wait until you see 12-inch. Is that what the Phantoms run? Oh, you know what? I forgot to tin these. Unfortunately, these motors couldn't take much more than 10-inch, it looked like. Actually, I'm probably pushing it with 10-inch slow fly props, but I gotta do what you gotta do, right? Okay, there we go. 2 done. 4 to go. I don't like working on things with 6 props is just it's just so much more work. Does somebody want to post a picture and a message to oh wait, I'm not done with this yet, just kidding. To Mini Quad Club or something like, well, I guess this isn't a mini quad, is it? Never mind. Is this flying Saturday? No, it is not. Well, maybe. It might fly. It depends on how much I work on the micro, if Bruce gets back to me. But I guess it maybe could be. Depends on if I work on it tomorrow night or not. Bring your eye protection. Where are the tweezers? So just go for these ones. The macro quad club, yeah, I love it. It's just funny. It's funny to me that full-size quads are now just regular quads, and the quads that everybody knows about are mini quads. Or micro quads. Yeah, mini quad club. This isn't even a quad. It's neither mini nor a quad. Let's see if we can keep this below 250 grams so I don't have to register it with the FAA. I think it can be done. Patrick asks, so you got your FC, which is flight controller, and if so, what is it? It is running. I did get it, and it's going to be a Sparky V1, which is an F3 board. That is one of the compatible boards for D Ronin. Cool. 2 done. Told you this was going to be a pretty boring build. They will be so Patrick asks, I thought the arms go on the bottom of the plate, or is it sandwiched? It's sandwiched. I just have it mounted on so that I can get the right wiring length, and then I'm going to sandwich it later, if that makes any sense at all. Did you get some extra arms? Yes, I did. Did you see I destroyed my GoPro? Yes, I did. Is Best Buy still honoring the warranty thing? At least you have 2 GoPros. Patrick asks, are you using SN20s? No, these are Little Bs. I'm switching over to Little Bs on literally all of my quads. RC Flight, do you fly with protection on your GoPro? Patrick asks, so those motors won't draw over Little B rating, I take it? From everything I could see, these motors don't draw more than 20 amps, even with a burst. So supposedly they should be fine. I'm going to test it out well before I put any expensive gear on here or anything. But yeah, according to the spec, these should only draw no more than 20 amps. Got my face in the wrong place again. Yeah, so Patrick says it seems like you should have physically bigger ESCs. I get that, but I couldn't find any reason why I would want something else. I don't know. It just, I mean, they're 20 amp ESCs. Like, I don't understand why anything would be different between these and fatter ones, right? Except for maybe like heat dissipation or something, but still they're rated for 20 amps, so same amount of currents going through. I don't remember what I said, RC Flight, sorry. Harrison Francis says hello. I say hello back. These are 20 amp little Bs. Harrison Francis asks. Ah! Sorry. Alright, we're doing this one next. Are you using barrel connectors? Nope, just direct soldering. Especially for this build, I don't count on crashing it a lot. So it seems even more sensible to just direct solder everything, because it's not going to come apart ever. I won't need to do much repairs on it, hopefully. Though barrel connectors would be good. Hey.
Tell her where I take the dog 2 minutes.
Okay. Have fun.
We'll be back late.
Alright. Bye. I love you. Alright. Done with that. Harrison Francis asks, what flight controller are you using? I'm going to be using a Sparky V2, which is an F3 board, because that is what I need to run D-Ronin, the firmware, which is a fork of Tau Labs. Is anybody going to any events soon? Brony Fest? Is that what I think it is? I'm not gonna judge anyone's life choices in here. Harrison Francis asks, "What are you building the 450 hex for?" The goal is kind of ethereal. I just kind of want to have something that I can do stuff with. I'm gonna be able to put it. I do want to do some aerial photography with it. I want to kind of have some fun with it. I'm not going to hesitate to take a pool noodle, make a circle, fly it up in the air, and have friends try to do flips through it or something like that. And I am going to also put all the GPS and all that kind of stuff on it so that I can use it to do mission planning kinds of things, which is what originally attracted me to multi-rotors. But then I ended up doing a mini quad first and kind of got hooked on racing and the whole culture there. Whoops, we forgot to do this. Wooden hex, yep, that is what this is. Get a gimbal yet? I think he means a gimbal. And no, I don't have a gimbal yet. I'm going to do this one step at a time, kind of slowly. I'm going to get used to it, get used to flying it, get everything working the way I want it to, and then I'm going to start putting expensive stuff on it. But yeah, Patrick says it is a 3D course obstacle, and yep, he's exactly right. We're going to definitely do some shenanigans with it. Jay Anderson says, "Hey Paul, hey Jay, how's it going? Good to have you here." Humboldt 710 says he's trying to finish a Snipe Air caliber 37-inch. I assume that's a flying wing. I've had the kit for way too long. Yeah, I've got a. There, you can see it kind of right there. That is a Assassin 37 wing from crash test hobby. That I actually don't think I'm going to ever put together. So if anybody wants to buy a 37-inch foam wing, let me know. Supposedly it's indestructible, so if you're learning to fly, it might actually be a good thing. Jay Anderson says, I wish we had FPV wing racing here in the UK. Do we even have that in the US? I might try to kick some up. I'm going to do a flight test Aero sometime in the near future, I think, because that thing looks pretty awesome. Harrison Francis says, oh my gosh, the pool noodle circle idea is awesome. I'm so doing that to my 450 to bring down to my club. Hey, credit where it's due. Just kidding. Film it. Let me know how it goes. I'm excited to try it because I don't really care about any one thing on this too much. Like, I'm not going to damage my little bees, and the motors were $3, so I mean it's not like the end of the world if something gets damaged. So I'm excited to kind of do some messing around with it. Put the camera like suspended on this quad and then fly through the pool noodles with it suspended in midair and all that kind of stuff. So should be pretty sweet. But yeah, all in all, the entire idea of this quad is that it's supplemental to my YouTube channel. So, you know, if that's B-roll with aerial photography or using it to do some kind of creative stunt or whatever, I just want some kind of platform that will enable me to do that. And that, I think, is what this thing will be good at. Harrison Francis says, I'll try to mount up a run cam on the noodle somehow and make sure a few of the quads have cameras. Yeah, perfect. Definitely ping me when you get that thing up and working because I want to see it in action. So I'm super excited about it. Problem is, I'll want to both fly this and fly my own quad through it. That will... Ghost riding quads seems like a bad idea. Just put it in altitude hold, switch the Tyrannus over to the other quad. Fly through. There's no way that could go poorly, right? If you build the FT Aero, get the speed build kit. Doing it from scratch kind of sucked, says Brian H. Yeah, I 100% plan on getting the speed build kit. There's no way I would have the patience to do foam construction from the ground up like that. That's just because I'm super lazy. But yeah. Why is the stream at 480p? I thought your last ones were at 720p. Is anybody else getting the stream at 720p? All right. Only 480. That's weird. I don't really have anything I can change. The laptop doesn't have an Ethernet port, so I can't like plug it in direct. Dang, that stinks. I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't think I can do anything about it. It's not. I didn't change any settings or anything. Is it still coming through decently despite that, or do we need to fix it? The stream health is not reporting perfect right now, so maybe that has something to do with what's going on. I don't know. Next stream I will make sure to figure something out. Maybe I'll get another webcam and hook this whole shebang up to my desktop, which is just right here, and then I could probably finagle everything to get it running off of that. Oop. It would be nice to have motors with built-in ESCs right about now. Yeah, this is a lot of wiring, but it's coming out fairly clean, I think. Ooh, that's a little washed out, isn't it? Still. That one came out a little long, didn't it? So here. Are those motors from the 3DR sale? Yes, they are. Pretty sweet deal. $3 a motor. These are the 950 kV versions. Klutz says he's listening as he builds. I think that's the ideal way to consume this live stream. So I'm glad that you're building with. That's really cool. That's what I usually do if I'm watching someone else's stream. Like I've watched Dirt Diver a few times stream and worked on a quad at the same time. I've watched Hythe PV build maps and worked on quads at the same time as well. That was fun. Alright, I gotta rotate this monstrosity. Ah. I listen to kung fu movies while I build. Watching kung fu movies is just the best. For a while, my wife and I were doing like once a week kung fu movie and order, ironically Thai, which was a lot of fun. I just kind of have forgotten to do it of late. That's always a blast. Watching Ip Man and all sorts of stuff. I Fly Sky High says you should look up the Speed Addict 210R racing frame. That thing looks awesome, but I probably won't pay $200 or $110 for it or whatever it was. But I would love to fly one. So if Catalyst Machine Works happens to see this, they should send one my way and I'll do a build on the live stream for all to see. What's your favorite kung fu movie? Now that we're on the topic. Yeah, everybody in here, go message Catalyst Machine Works and say they want to say that you want me to send me a Speed Addict 210R racing frame. There it is. If you can get them to send it to me, I'll do a giveaway with it after the build and maiden. Did you maiden that XBR? No, I'm still waiting on. I still need a new KISS 30 amp ESC. Found the Kiss 30 amp pretty cheap at Banggood. This are they real? $14 each. They're $30 things. New. They must be something else. Ugh. Save it. I Fly Sky High said that he had to replace a Kiss and they're sending some for free. What's wrong? Or what happened? Did it blow up? Did you have the kiss of fire? Patrick says he got some DYS motors in the mail today, but they have bad wiring. What's wrong with them? The little bees are the ones you can use BL Heli through Clean Flight, right? Yes, that's correct. Among any BL Heli bootloader, ESCs can use Clean Flight through, or can use BL Heli through Clean Flight. But figuring out which ones have the bootloader is the hard part. All right. That there looks like a wired up quadcopter. The light would turn on and then off and wouldn't turn on but would work if I connected it to the receiver. It would work so. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, the LED on mine won't even turn on, so at least you've got that. Brian H says, I'm stuck with assignment K on my Lumineer Mini 20s, time to upgrade. Yep, these are great. I love the little bees. I fly them on everything. I was just out flying this guy right before the stream. I just went outside the front door and zipped around the neighborhood a little bit, which you should not do. But yeah, I think that this is as far as I'm going to go tonight. I've got to do a bunch of software config and thinking with the Sparky, which is right here. I haven't even pulled it out of the package yet. It's a little guy, actually. It's kind of funny. There we go. But yeah, this is an F3 board. It's got 6 ports. Should do PPM. I haven't done any research on how to wire it up yet. I don't think I even have a 5-volt regulator right now. So I just don't have. I'm not quite prepared to get this whole thing up and running, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm excited about mounting this guy up on there and giving it a shot with some Tau Labs. So yeah. Brandon St. Germain says, I wouldn't know where to begin, and where did you learn to do all this? Honestly, I've learned all of this through just practice and YouTube and spending time on Reddit and learning from friends and all that stuff. So it's yeah, I've just learned by exposure, honestly, just kind of making sure that I'm constantly learning and figuring out things and getting it all together. I had no background in electronics. I don't have any background in engineering or anything like that. I've just kind of YouTubed and tried things and gotten it to work. So now I've got 3 or 4 quads flying pretty well, and more on the way. I'm pretty excited about all of them. So yeah, no, thanks for asking. I appreciate it. So yeah, I think I'm going to call it a night here. Again, it was a pretty short build tonight, but you know, we've got all this ready to go. I'll try to mount up the flight controller in the next couple days and let you guys know of any progress. I'll probably take a video or 2 and show you just how it's doing. But anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you all. Definitely subscribe, come back, check it out again. I'm sure we'll build something else. So thanks again.